The first time Elias Rowan saw the alien girl, she was standing at the edge of the galaxy. At least, that was how his mind translated the impossible data spilling across his monitors. Elias worked alone in Observatory Theta, a forgotten deep space listening post orbiting a quiet red dwarf. He had chosen isolation deliberately. While the rest of humanity chased faster ships, louder signals, and more aggressive searches for extraterrestrial life, Elias preferred to listen. Not for broadcasts or mathematical beacons, but for patterns, anomalies in the cosmic background radiation, subtle distortions in space-time that suggested intention rather than accident. On the night everything changed, the galaxy flickered. Elias rubbed his tired eyes, convinced it was another hallucination brought on by sleep deprivation. Then the instruments recalibrated themselves, something they were not programmed to do. Data aligned into a shape that was neither star nor void, but something between. A silhouette formed, stretching across light years, folding space the way a body folds shadow. And at its center she appeared. She looked almost human. Almost. Her form was slender, luminous, as though her body were made of condensed starlight. Her eyes reflected spiral galaxies instead of pupils, and when she turned her head, entire nebulae shifted with emotion. She was not standing in the galaxy. She was standing beyond it, gazing inward. Elias forgot to breathe. He didn't reach for the emergency beacon. He didn't alert Earth Command. He simply watched because, for the first time in his life, he felt something watching back. Her gaze moved across the stars, past empires, past civilizations broadcasting their existence with arrogance and fear. She looked past the war fleets and the megastructures, past the artificial suns and ring worlds. Then her eyes stopped. They focused on Observatory Theta. They focused on Elias. The instruments screamed. Power surged. Gravity fluctuated. Elias was thrown from his chair as the room filled with light, not blinding, but impossibly gentle, like dawn breaking inside his skull. When the light faded, the galaxy was quiet again. And Elias was no longer alone. She stood inside the observatory, her feet not touching the floor, her presence bending the air around her. Up close, she was smaller than he had imagined, fragile, almost delicate. Her glow dimmed, as if the vastness she carried had compressed itself to fit the room. "You can see me," she said. Her voice did not travel through air. It unfolded directly inside his mind, layered with harmonics that made his thoughts tremble. I think so," Elias whispered. "Or I've finally gone insane." She tilted her head, studying him. "Your species calls this fear. Confusion. Wonder. All at once." Elias swallowed. "Who are you?" "I am called many things," she replied. "Observer. Cartographer. Witness. But among my own kind, I am simply Lyris." "Your kind?" Elias asked. She drifted closer, her light casting soft constellations across the walls. "We exist beyond galaxies. We watch universes form, live, and die. We do not interfere. We do not choose." "But you're here," Elias said. "Yes." Her glow dimmed further. "Because something has gone wrong." Lyris showed him the truth. With a thought, she unfolded the cosmos before his mind. He saw the universe not as humanity knew it, but as a living structure, threads of causality, probability currents, timelines braided together. And at the center of it all was a fracture. A slow, creeping unraveling that would not destroy stars or planets at first, but meaning. Consciousness itself would thin, fade, and vanish. "All sentient life will end," Lyris said softly. "Not with fire, with silence." Elias felt sick. "Can't your kind stop it?" "We are bound by balance," she replied. Intervention collapses more universes than it saves. We only observe. Then why show me? Elias demanded. Her galaxy-filled eyes locked onto his. Because you saw me. He shook his head. A lot of people look at the stars. They look through them, Lyra said. You looked for them. You searched not for proof, but for understanding. You did not try to claim the universe. You listened. Elias laughed bitterly. Listening doesn't fix cosmic annihilation. No, Lyra agreed. But choice does. She explained that the fracture could be healed, but only by being bound by causality, time, and limitation. Someone whose existence mattered precisely because it was small. The act would erase the individual from every timeline, every memory, every record. They would never have existed. No one would remember me, Elias said quietly. Not even me, Lyra said. For the first time, her voice wavered. Elias studied her then, not as a cosmic entity, but as a girl burdened by eternity. He realized something that shattered him more than the fate of the universe. She was lonely. How long have you been watching? He asked. Since before your universe learned how to shine, she replied. And you've never chosen anyone before? Never, she said. Because we are not supposed to care. Elias smiled sadly. Looks like you failed. Something like emotion rippled through her light. That is why I looked past the galaxy. And why I chose you. Silence stretched between them. The observatory hummed, unaware that existence itself was holding its breath. Elias thought of Earth, of the quiet joy of rain, of stories unfinished, of no one remembering his name. He stood. If this saves everyone, he said, then it's worth it. Lyris reached out, her hand trembling as it passed through layers of reality to touch his. I wish you had never seen me. And I'm glad I did, Elias replied. At least one of us won't be alone anymore. Light consumed him. Not violently, but warmly. Elias felt himself dissolve into possibility, threading through the fracture, stitching reality closed with the weight of his existence. He felt no pain, only peace. When it was over, the universe stabilized. Stars burned true. Consciousness endured. Lyris stood once more beyond the galaxy, watching timelines flow smoothly again. But something had changed. Where once she observed without attachment, now she remembered a feeling, an absence shaped like a human who had seen her when no one else could. Somewhere, on a quiet red dwarf orbit, an empty observatory drifted through space. And for the first time in eternity, the Watcher wept, not because the universe was broken, but because it had been saved by someone who would never be known. Yet in the vast, endless dark, one truth remained. The alien girl had looked past the galaxy, and she had chosen the human who truly saw her.